Good evening, welcome to the Saturday Night Live special following the Yarde Vs Beterbiev contest, joined by Sean. Good evening, Sean. Good night, Sean.
Good evening, mate. Yeah, evening.
Straight into it then, Sean. So, I thought it was a cracking fight. So, tell us how you saw it, Sean.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was a great fight. You know, I think the commentary kind of almost persuaded you to think that Yarde was doing better than he was at times. But overall, I thought it was a great fight, and I think it was only a matter of time before Beterbiev stopped him.
I do think Yarde had his moments, though, didn't he? He had his moments in the fight where Beterbiev did look at all his age in terms of 38. He's definitely slowing up, isn't he?
Yeah. I think he showed a champion spirit though. Every time Yarde got to him, he answered back, didn't he? I mean, he almost hurt him twice as hard as he got hurt himself. And I think, you know, that's a sign of a good champion.
It'll be interesting though, because obviously it looks like the Bivol fight probably be next. He can't ship that many shots against Bivol, can he? For me,
no, absolutely not. No, and I think by all accounts, isn't Callum Smith almost for that because he's a mandatory now, isn't he?
Yeah.
For 3 of the belts, I think.
Now that is an intriguing fight, isn't it? That's very intriguing.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know about you, but I almost favour Callum Smith in that fight.
Well, I think timing's everything, isn't it? And Callum Smith's very fresh, isn't he? Especially at light heavyweight. And if Callum Smith's a very good finisher, so if he hurts Beterbiev like Yarde did, I don't think Smith lets him off the hook.
Yeah, I agree. I think Smith probably gets the stoppage in about, I don't know, 8 or 9 rounds, I think, if that was to happen.
No, I always get a bit of jet lag when Little Penny joins the stream because obviously I feel like I'm on a transatlantic flight or something. So believe it'll be good morning, good afternoon where you are, Little Penny.
Yes. Hey, Carl, Sean, how are you?
Good guy. How are you, Little
Where's
Penny?
Andy?
Yeah, Andy can't make this stream this week, unfortunately, but we're back to normal next time.
Oh, okay.
So I'm assuming you watched the fight between Beterbiev and Yarde. Little Penny, what did you think?
Yeah, I thought he should have gotten there a little bit earlier. I think that mouthpiece strategy probably worked to his favor. I've seen that done before. But yeah, I thought it was a good stoppage by his trainer.
Yeah.
Is he the guy from YouTube, Tunde? Is that him?
No.
Oh, a different one. Okay.
No, I actually, now not a lot of people are going to agree with me here, but I thought it was a little bit early. I'll tell you why. Because it's a world title fight, and Anthony Yarde had caught him a couple of times when he looked like he was down and out. So I personally think it was just. I know it's difficult for coaches and trainers, but I thought it was a little bit premature. What do you think, Sean?
Yeah, I don't think Yarde looked particularly hurt, did he, really? I mean, sure, he was stunned, but I don't think he was out on his feet or anything.
Yeah, it felt a little bit premature to me, Little Penny, I'll be honest. And
but the thing is, I think the inevitable is going to happen anyway. He got hurt there a few times. By the way, Beterbiev gets cut all the time. Have you noticed that? He gets cut all the time.
And he did start to look his age at 38 as well at some points in the fight, didn't he? You know, he's definitely slowing up.
Hey, Sean, is Carl stuck?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah,
Is he back?
Hello?
Yeah, you go. You were stuck a little bit. Go.
Yeah, sorry, guys. So what I was saying was he does look. Sometimes in fights he does look 38, don't he?
Yeah.
You know, and I wonder. Obviously, Callum Smith's up there in the WBC rankings, so it's likely they're going to meet. It'll be interesting to see what Callum Smith does with Beterbiev. I don't believe Callum Smith lets him off the hook like Yarde did. I think Smith's a better finisher.
I think that will be the next fight because Bivol is going down to 168 to fight Canelo, and then if Canelo wins, they'll probably fight at
Rematch.
175, go back up. So Bivol won't be available for Beterbiev for at least 1.5 years, at least. So he has to fight some of those guys at 175. Yeah, like a Callum Smith. I like that fight.
Yeah, it's a good fight. It's a very
That
good
fight would
fight.
sell out the is it AO or OA Arena in London? What do you call that famous arena in London? What do you call? Is it AO?
What's the latest sponsorship on that one, Sean? I'm not quite up to date with what the latest brand
right.
is. Is it OVO, Sean? OVO?
Yeah, something like that. I think. Yeah.
I didn't know it was sponsored. I thought it had a name, like a.
No, it's a sponsor. It's a brand over in the UK, little
Oh,
fella.
is it? Oh, okay.
So obviously, what do you make? I can't believe I'm bringing this up, but I'll bring it up whilst Andy's not on the show. Obviously, you had that face-off between Jake Paul and Tommy Fury.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. I saw that. Man, Fury looks big. He looks like he's on steroids.
He's got a lot of pressure. Tommy Fury, all joking aside, has got a lot of pressure in this fight, hasn't he?
He does.
You know, a lot of pressure.
He does.
Who wins it, little fella?
I don't know, actually. I haven't seen a lot of Tommy Fury fights, but I have seen a lot of Jake Paul fights, though. So I'm probably going to go with Jake Paul because I've seen him more. I hear that Tommy Fury is like, he's a bit of a pillow puncher. I don't know if that's true because I haven't seen him that often. But I'm going with Jake Paul because I have data on Jake Paul.
Yeah. And have you heard the latest in the UK that some boxing fans are calling for Joseph Parker to retire on the back of that performance last week?
I don't know. Look, he's done a lot. Joseph Parker. He's like he won a title at heavyweight, so that's good. He's got a lot of big fights too with AJ and those guys. He's made a lot of money, but especially over there in London. Actually, Sean, who do you think will win that Jake Paul Fury fight? I'm just curious.
I agree. I think Jake Paul as well. I mean, I don't really rate Tommy Fury. I have to be honest. I mean, nothing I've seen of him screams anything that he'll achieve in boxing. I think he won't even win an English title, if I'm being honest.
He's got to beat him for his career, though, Sean Hunter. If he doesn't beat him, that's his boxing credibility and career over.
I don't really know if he's interested, though, is he? I mean, surely he obviously makes more money from his social media or reality TV, so I don't think it really is a bigger deal to him.
But he'll get big money for this in Saudi Arabia, right? I'm guessing those.
Yeah, I've not seen what the purse is, but I'd suggest it'll be a big number.
Yeah.
But John Fury's talking about retiring him. You know, if he doesn't win this fight, that's it. He'll never be in the ring again. And I tend to believe John Fury because it will bring a little bit.
He probably won't need any money because he'll get a lot of money for this fight too. I'm guessing it's probably like a 60-40 in favor of Jake Paul. But in terms of the purse that Saudi Arabia will be offering him, he doesn't need to fight after this.
He calls himself a fighting man, though, little Penny, doesn't he? You know, he's got in with all the, you know, I know my brother's a world champion. I want to get to that level in boxing. He's made some big statements, and obviously he's got to cash them checks now and come through. I think I think he beats Jake Paul, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he beats him.
Well, to get a rematch, you'll have to beat Jake Paul. Whereas if Jake Paul wins, there won't be any rematch. Jake Paul will move on. You know what I mean, Sean?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I agree. I mean, I put on social media earlier. I think Tommy Fury is more of the side of the Shuey Fury family rather than Tyson, if you see what I mean.
He looks fit though, Tommy Fury. He looked like he was shredded there. But I don't know. It looks like it's artificial. Like I think.
What does Tyson say there, little Penny? Muscles don't win fights.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So
because Tyson Fury doesn't have any muscles, really. It's more his skills.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for that announcement, if I'm honest, regarding Fury and Usyk, where it's going to take place, the date.
Carl, Sean, what I don't get is because that fight is also scheduled in Saudi or in the Middle East, and it's a 50-50 split
Yeah.
from my understanding. But if it's in Wembley, why is Fury asking for more? It should be the other way around because now Usyk will be in his home turf. I don't get that. Why is he asking for more money if it's in Wembley?
Tyson seems to think that he's generating the interest and the income in the fight if it's at Wembley, though, because it's in his country amongst his people.
But it's a disadvantage to Usyk because now he's going to his home country. Like then he should be getting, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think Tyson just considers it the A side, doesn't he? I don't think he can ever consider that he's not the A side, and the A side normally owns a bigger split.
Yeah, true. I was actually surprised. Sean, I was actually surprised that he agreed to a 50-50 split in Saudi Arabia.
Well, it's not done yet, is it, Lil Pen? It's not over the line yet, so I wouldn't count your chickens.
Yeah.
You know,
it would be better if it's in England.
Deal, don't they, as well? So it's not almost like its own split because they negotiate with each other via the government, I believe, in Saudi Arabia. So it's slightly different in that regard.
It's interesting because I don't want to say, reliable sources, there you go, I'll use that phrase. Reliable sources told me you're only throwing the Wembley Stadium in there to get more money out of the Saudi government.
Leverage, yeah.
Leverage because obviously maybe the pot isn't as big as they thought it was going to be. So they're trying to use the leverage to get more money in the pot.
But it doesn't have to be Saudi Arabia. It could be Dubai and Abu Dhabi and
it could be any of that territory, couldn't it? Any of them territories.
Yeah.
So yeah. Is there any more news over at your side of the world regarding Matchroom, Little Penny? Because he's got big plans for Australia, but I've not heard any further news.
For
Matchroom talking about doing more work, doing more shows in Australia and New Zealand, but I've not heard anything.
The only fights I've heard that are in this region, the Donaire Maloney fight and the Kosciuszko Tony Harrison fight, which will be really good.
Yeah,
I'll probably go to one of those fights. Probably the Donaire fight because I haven't seen him fight.
I think Harrison gives Tszyu problems. I do. You know, I'm not a big fan of him. I'm really not.
Him?
I'm not a big fan of Tim Tszyu. I've watched him on a couple of domestic Australian shows. Not overly impressed. I'd like Liam Smith to fight him, if I'm honest. I think Liam Smith would absolutely destroy him.
At 154?
It'd have to be 154, wouldn't it? Because Tszyu's not going to go up to 160. Has he ever fought at 160?
No. I'd like that. He has to get past Harrison, though. Harrison's not an easy... Because Harrison's looking for a trilogy with Charlo, and he has to beat Kosciuszko to do do
Yeah, it's a good fight.
No, it's not Kosciuszko. Tim Tszyu, sorry. That won't be easy. That won't be easy. I don't know. I actually don't know who will win that fight. I think it's a 50-50 fight.
Yeah.
But Harrison's gone through a few wars too. He's not spring chicken either. He's not a big puncher like Kosciuszko. I keep saying Kosciuszko. Tim Tszyu will just come forward and give him the business. He can box though. It's just that sometimes Harrison, his chin is a little suspect. I don't know if Tim Tszyu has the power like Charlo to get him out of there.
That's my concern. It's not, with all due respect to Australian domestic boxing, that it's about levels, isn't it? And I think he's jumping up quite a few levels, jumping in with Harrison. He's not really been in deep water, has he, Tim, yet? So let's see.
But if he beats Harrison, I do like that Tim going back to Manchester where his father lost to Hatton and like the same arena as well, like kind of like redeeming his father's demons per se.
Oh, you're romantic, you are, Lil Penny. So who does he fight in? Is it a Liam Smith fight in Manchester?
Yeah, Liam Smith, yeah, because Liam Smith is from Liverpool, right?
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, it's not that far away from. They're not that far away, right? In Manchester and Liverpool. Yeah. It would be like a good, as you say, romantic homecoming for Tszyu per se, like because that's where his father lost to. In fact, that was his father's last fight, I think.
I think it was against Hudson, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
I don't think Tim Tszyu goes past 4 rounds with Liam Smith.
Liam Smith's not a big power puncher, though.
He'd break him up.
Oh, Carl, Sean, you know that fight against Eubank Jr. I think the weight had a lot to do with that fight because I've never seen Eubank have those spaghetti legs and he's usually in the past. Eubank Jr.'s chin is not that bad,
No.
and then he just got. I don't know. I reckon the weight had a lot to do with it. I think he had nothing left in that fight.
I just think Liam Smith, without skill to do, he would never have been in with anyone of his level. So that's just my honest opinion. So
what about this? What about this rematch? I want to see this Eubank, Smith rematch. Because the build up to that fight is going to be amazing. Because now Smith's got he now has something to say, whereas before he really couldn't.
Yeah. I think it'll happen. It's talking about happening at Anfield, Liverpool's football stadium. It's got to be a good undercard to put it on at Anfield because it holds 50,000. But where else does Chris Eubank go for a payday?
He can't.
Billy Joe Saunders, too early. Although Billy Joe's coming back, but it's too early.
Billy Joe, isn't he retired?
No, he's coming. He's on the comeback trail.
Oh, what about his eye? Is his eye all right?
No. By all accounts, he's had surgery. I predicted he would come back. I remember Andy saying he won't come back. He's never going to go out on that Canelo defeat. Never. So, and I think boxing's a better place for having Billy Joe Saunders in it as well because he's a character.
He got a lot of money for that Canelo fight. Whew.
Yeah, a lot of money. Good evening, Lee.
Evening, guys. How we doing?
Yeah, we're all right. So we'll just revert back to Yarde versus Beterbiev for your benefit, Lee. So do you want to give us your breakdown of how the fight went?
Didn't mean you get that one right, Carl, with our predictions the other day. We said 7-9, didn't we?
I wasn't going to mention it, Lee, because I'm humble, but I think I did predict it right. I said that to Sean, yeah. So it was nice. I like the fact that you picked it up.
That's where I thought it was going to go. But to be honest, I didn't see. Well, yeah, there is that. But no, it went. The result was the way I thought it was going to be, but the performance wasn't. Yarde really impressed me. Thought he was incredible. He gave everything in there, and I think you saw a few. I think there were times where Beterbiev got exposed a little bit. I think there'd be a few boxers out there now that fancy their chances.
Who would you throw him in with next, then, Lee?
Well, we know who he's fighting next, don't we? He's going to fight Callum Smith next. It'd be Callum Smith mandatory.
So I was saying earlier that I believe Callum Smith is a better finisher than Anthony Yarde. And Beterbiev looked every day of his age at some points during that fight in terms of being in shape. Yeah, so I think
Callum Smith will have success in that fight.
Callum Smith, I think I'll go out now on a limb and say I think Callum Smith beats him. I think he stops Beterbiev late.
Oh, I don't know.
I've just said this. I've just said this on a space on Twitter, and I got shut down for it. But yeah, I think there's a chance he does.
Beterbiev's got a really good chin, man. No, I don't. He may have if it does stop him, it'll be by a cut, like where the ref says like technical KO. I think that's the only way.
I think Smith stops him. I think he'll break Beterbiev up later on. They'll put money in the bank early on
does he have enough power, Carl, to stop him?
Yes, in my view.
All right.
I think Beterbiev was hurt tonight.
I do.
Yeah, he was. He was a little bit. But he can recuperate those. It doesn't really bother him. I feel like with Beterbiev, the more he gets hurt, the more like he goes for it. Like, you know what I mean?
He won't land as many on Smith either. I don't think. I think Smith's a bit. He's a smarter boxer than Yarde. Yarde's tough as nails, and he showed heart tonight. But Smith's a better boxer.
Smith should use his height. He's taller, right, than him.
Yeah.
Than Beterbiev. He should use his height.
Yeah. He's quite a lot bigger, isn't he, Callum Smith? And not only his height, he's more physical as well. I mean, how he made super middleweight, I'll just never know. But I think he probably
He's
still
not
should have
conditioned
declared,
for us.
really. No.
Yeah, I remember what Callum Smith has got is a very, very good jab. And Beterbiev couldn't get away from that jab tonight. So, yeah.
If they fight, I'm going for a Beterbiev KO again. Late, not early, but late.
I know, but we just know you're anti-British fighters, little.
No, I'm not anti-British. I like Amir Khan. I like Amir Khan.
Yeah, but he retired about 2 years ago. I can't
I mean, the current
You're
fighters.
about the only one who does, mate. No one else likes Amir Khan.
Oh, you guys don't like Amir Khan? Amir Khan's
Hate him. Can't stand him.
You don't like
Well,
Amir Khan?
I wish you would
like
sit on
Amir
the
Khan.
fence, Lee.
He was an entertaining fighter, and his resume, Carl.
I'll tell you what, it was entertaining when we saw Kell Brook beat him up.
Or what about Brady's Prescott when he did that little dance?
Yeah, but he was going for the kill, Carl. Like, you know, like had he known that Prescott had a huge punching power, he would have been careful a little bit. But the guys that he got KO'd with, they were like huge punch. Canelo is a huge puncher, like, and he fought Canelo at 160 pounds or middleweight. Even though it was at a catch
I'll tell you why. I wouldn't say I dislike Amir Khan, but the reason why I'm not really a fan is because he turned his back on British boxing and went to America for a pound note or $1. So we wasn't really seeing.
But didn't he want to conquer America? I agree that he should have fought the Peterson in Britain, right? But all the other ones, he was there to conquer America, so he has to fight in America.
He was avoiding Kell Brook as well. He was.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't care what anyone says. He avoided Kell Brook his whole career until he couldn't avoid him anymore.
The own goal that he scored was he didn't build his British fan base before going to America. You know, like Ricky Hatton built that fan base in Britain, and then but Amir Khan. And I'm just giving you my opinion, little Penner. That's why I don't think he's loved by the British boxing public, because he's not loved by us. Let's be honest. He's a bit like Marmite. Some people like him, some people don't.
But didn't he fight his first like 10, 15 fights in Britain?
But when his profile was at his highest, he took the American deal. And then did people really want to get up at 2, 3, 4 in the morning to watch him? Obviously not, because pay-per-view figures weren't great in the UK. So somewhere his PR went missing.
Carl, I hate to say this, right? But I just wanted to ask you, who's got a better resume, Amir Khan or Carl Froch?
Good question. Because I genuinely believe Carl Froch fought everyone who he could. Yeah, it's a good question, little Penner.
By the way, why is Carl Froch always hating on Amir Khan? I don't get that. Why is he always like pinching him? Like, I don't get it. Like, what? They're not even in the same division. Like,
you'd have to ask him.
What's up with that?
Amir Khan's not a very likable person, but then again, knows Carl Froch.
But
Lee, even when he gives him a praise, he then gives him a backhand compliment afterwards. Dude, just
Carl Froch does that anyway, mate. He likes he's got a very dry sense of humour.
A bit like me. It must be something to do with Carl's in Nottingham.
He's another entertaining fighter. I do like Carl Froch. He's one of those guys where you'd always want to watch him, especially if he fights someone like a puncher like Groves. Like, I don't want to see him fight against what's his name, Andre Ward. That's gonna be a boring fight because Andre Ward's just gonna keep dancing all over the. But when he fights like a fighter like a Beterbiev, for example, like I want to see that fight.
Like a Kessler, they were two great.
Yeah. Or that Groves fight, that was a really good rematch. Those two.
It was a great stoppage in the first fight. Great stoppage.
Oh man, he's got.
Well, let's not go there again.
Great.
I can't do that one.
Great stoppage, Sean, wasn't it? Just nod, Sean. Just nod. Howard Foster, the greatest referee in Britain.
I thought it was a little early. Sean, don't you think?
He saved George Groves' career that night. Saved it.
He could have let him go, like, because
It should be Howard Foster, MBE services for George Groves because he saved his career that night.
Because Carl Froch, he got hurt even more than the stoppage. Remember on that I think it was in the second round or third round. I can't remember. Man, he looked gone there.
Let's talk about recovery though.
Yes,
Speed of recovery.
I thought it was a little early, Carl. I thought he should have.
Shane Groves didn't get that chance.
One more.
He was gone, Lee. I told you, lights were on, but nobody was home. It would have ended.
Oh,
Jamie
I
was
think-
had a big thing for that, really.
Say again, Sean.
Shamey wasn't still with Adam Booth, I think, rather than Paddy Fitzpatrick. I think that's what really messed him up, I think, as well.
Well, allegedly, and it is allegedly, Adam Booth didn't want to train him to fight Carl Froch because he didn't believe he could win.
Not allegedly.
Right, okay.
Groves has said it.
As he said it, I've not seen that.
He said it in an interview.
That face off with him and
Adam Booth's an arsehole, though.
Who's that famous cruiserweight that's retired? What's his name? It's on Sky Sports. Where they were like shook their hand and Carl like what's that show on Sky Sports where they go face to
Gloves
face?
are off.
Yeah, the gloves are off. Oh, that was a classic, man. I love that. Where
They're
like,
good
you know,
mates now.
Yeah, they do after dinner shows, don't they, and all that lot.
Yeah. That was a good
I
build up.
think-
That ring.
I mean, Carl likes being a bit of a
80,000?
pantomime villain, but I think it's all a bit of a show. I think he's pretty thick-skinned, doesn't really care what people think of him, so he just says what he wants to say, basically.
Was that really 80,000 there? I thought it was more like 65.
No.
it was 80.
Come on.
Okay, all right.
Carl Froch
That was a good fight.
was going around the stadium with his clicker to make sure it was 80,000.
Yeah, I remember that. The clicker. Yeah, they don't do that anymore. It's more of the
No.
scam. But I do remember that, the clicker. Yeah. Oh man, that's hilarious.
Lee, are you coming up to Nottingham for the Leewood fight?
No, unfortunately not. I really wanted to as well, but we've got other plans. I'll definitely be watching it though.
Is that Lee Wood Lara fight?
Yeah,
Oh
great.
man,
fight.
that's a great fight. Oh my god, that's another like Carl Froch, George Groves type of a fight.
Again, a Nottingham boxer showing the world how to take a voluntary defence.
When is that fight,
Yeah.
Carl?
February 18th.
Oh, okay. So the week before the Jake Paul fight.
No, the Jake Paul fight's a week after the Leewood fight. Let's have it that way, shall we?
Yeah, February 26th, I think it was. Yeah. Sorry.
Sunday evening, isn't it? You know.
Yeah.
I'd love
I
to
got
know
Lara. Carl, sorry, I got Lara winning that fight. I think Lara is just
Like
too
I've
strong,
said, little
man.
Penny, water off a duck's back because you never. I can't remember last time you backed the British fighter to win.
Okay, who have I? I've picked Fury.
You see how
all the
long it's
time.
taken you to think about it. See how long? That's how long ago it was when you tipped a British fighter.
I'm trying to think who I've.
Yeah, exactly. You keep thinking. Yeah,
Amir Khan.
yeah. Amir Khan again. It was that long ago. It was against Prescott.
I did pick Amir Khan to beat Kell Brook, by the way,
Lee Wood would knock Lara out.
or
I
the
said it
other way
already.
around. Lara will also be going for the KO. This is why I love this fight. Lara will definitely be going for the KO. That's for sure.
Well, this is a shootout, isn't it? It's a shootout.
Yes.
But yeah, and then I think he'll fight Warrington in the summer. So when he's dealt with Lara, then he'll move on to Warrington.
Didn't Lara KO Warrington?
He beat Warrington, then
Yeah.
then he drew in the next fight. Was it a cut or something? Why it got?
Cut in the first round, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Hey guys, I also hear that maybe Inoue will be like. I hear that Inoue's body is because you know when you're young, kind of like when Pacquiao was growing up, like he actually skipped 118 and 115, went from 112 straight to 122 because his body was getting too big. I think with Inoue, I think he'll only have one fight at 122, beat Fulton, and then go up to 126 and join the because the featherweight division. It's got like
Yeah.
Lara, Wood, Warrington, Conlon, Magsayo, Navarrete, Lara, obviously.
Yeah, I think Navarrete is the one for me. He's the one I'd keep away from because I think he's a killer.
I reckon Lara will be the one left standing. But if Inoue joins them, Inoue, I like Inoue.
I think Lee Wood could quite easily step up again, another weight class. But,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know how many fights he'll have left, to be honest. You know, probably, what do you reckon? What do you reckon? Couple of years, this year and next year, if it all goes well?
I think he'll rematch Conlan.
Yes.
He's got
Some
to
point.
Conlan's got to bring something to the table, though, hasn't he?
Well, easy. Money.
Was their first fight in Ireland?
No, Nottingham.
No.
Okay.
I don't think Lee Wood rematches him unless he picks a world title up, which he could quite well do. 'Cause I rate Conlan.
Isn't this fight with Lara? Isn't it for the belts? Like a few
Yeah,
belts? Yeah.
that makes it even more impressive that he's took it as a voluntary, doesn't it?
Do you remember when Cal Brook did against Errol Spence? Look what happened there.
I was there at Bramall Lane.
Carl, if Kell Brook didn't fight Triple G, right? Say he fought like a warm up, or what do they call it, like a tune up fight, right?
Yeah.
And then he fought Kell Brook. Would he have beaten Errol Spence? You think?
No, I just think no.
Okay.
I'll tell you, I think Liam Smith versus Triple G is a great fight at this stage of both their careers.
Yes. Oh, I like that fight. I like that.
Yeah, it's being touted.
That would be a good money fight for Triple G too, because Achalo's not going to fight him. Andrade's, I don't know. I don't think he'll fight him either. I reckon that's a great fight.
Do you think they could drag? Drag Triple G over to Anfield for a fight?
Yeah, because Triple G is now looking for the money. He's not really. Yeah, I agree. He might want to become undisputed at 160 because that's missing in his resume. But I reckon in the back of his mind, I think he wants money fights now.
Does that sell Anfield? Does that sell Anfield out, Lee? With a good undercard?
They get beyond their own, so I'd imagine.
What?
Actually, thinking about it,
Triple G's not going to agree to an Anfield fight.
Say again, little fella.
He's not going to agree to an Anfield fight. He's not going to fight him in his backyard. It'll be like a Manchester, or not even Manchester, probably like somewhere in London.
Bellew didn't sell out Goodison, did he?
Didn't quite. There's still a good number there. I was at that fight as well. There wasn't many seats left, Lee.
But they didn't open the whole stadium, did they?
Didn't open the whole stand. No, but I mean, it was on a Sunday night before bank holiday, which should have helped numbers, shouldn't it?
Yeah.
I reckon there's probably about 20,000 there.
Anfield is, I don't know. It's a big ask, but yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't be. I don't think I'll be that buzzed for that fight. I don't think I'll be that excited.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Triple G, Liam Smith.
End of the road for both of them, isn't it? And it's like, yeah, I don't know. I'd be pleased for Liam Smith to get that fight, and I'd be glad if he could get that fight at Anfield. Then great. But yeah, it's not one I'll be like overly looking forward to.
You know, Liam Smith is not a natural 160 pounder, whereas Triple G is, right? So that's where.
Yeah, I think Triple G would. Yeah, I think that's a step too far for Liam at this point.
I agree. He should go back to 154.
Well, I still think the rematch happens anyway because he's contracted to it. And like I said, Eubank Jr.'s got nowhere else to go. Not with that sort of money, anyway. You know.
I wonder if he wears his KFC jacket again. Eubank Jr. He's a good talker, by the way. He's like his dad. He's a good talker, not in the ring, but outside of the ring.
It's a shame he doesn't fight like his dad.
He's made a few quid.
He has. He should have fought Triple G back in the days, like 5 years ago. Like, because he was.
But he knew he'd get beat.
Oh yeah, Triple G. That was his prime back then. But at least it would age well. You know what I mean? Even if he gets knocked out.
I'll tell you one thing that intrigues me is to see how far Franklin takes Joshua in this fight.
Oh yeah,
because we'll learn a lot about Joshua in this fight. I think one thing Franklin does do, he does plod forward with his gloves up, don't he? So
I reckon that Dillian White rematch. I reckon that's a tune-up fight for AJ. Don't you think he's done now? Dillian White.
Yeah, there's a lot of hostility in that fight, there, isn't there?
Oh, so
Well,
you're saying he'll get up for that fight? Like, because it's AJ, he'll
It's-
get up. Like,
You say it's hostility, it's all a load of rubbish. They actually get on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose you have been ringside a few times and all that. I mean, you don't know what you're watching at the minute, do you, with this pantomime stuff going on?
No, I think AJ and Dylan behind the scenes, I think they get on quite well.
But
I
one
can
thing,
tell you for a fact they don't.
Good evening, Jack. Now that's an entrance. Go on then, Jack.
Just because I communicate quite a lot with Dean White and help him out with stuff, and from what he said, they really don't get on. But they can coexist. But if they're around each other for more than probably 10 minutes, they start to get on each other's nerves. And
I reckon Jack, I reckon AJ is okay with Dylan, but Dylan, I think, hates him. Like, I don't think he wants to be...
I wouldn't know if it's that way, but you could be right there. I think Dillian's a lot more short-tempered than AJ is.
Yeah.
Mm.
I wouldn't be surprised if he throws water at him.
Yeah, I'm not sure he'll throw the water like that, little Penny, but it's a good effort.
Did that not cost him 10 grand doing that? So
Oh, right, yeah.
that was the most expensive glass of water he's ever thrown.
I mean, what I have heard though is obviously AJ's got a public persona, but he's nothing like that in private.
Yeah.
Like allegedly.
I don't know. I'm not mates with him, but that's possibly true.
Wait, so you reckon he's a ball wreck, like, personally, AJ? I don't think so.
They just built him up to be. They built him up to be something he's not. It was marketable, wasn't it? To be
Very
be
corporate,
that humble. Yeah, that's just how they marketed him. And
There's another person I think's like that though.
Watsy.
I think Usyk's
You
like
are.
that. I think Usyk's like that. He plays the Great White Hope. I don't think he's actually like that in real life. I think he tries so, like, because the public started to sort of like him and everything, I think he's now trying to play up to that. I don't think he's being genuine now. By the way, he's still a very good boxer, but I genuinely it's just something. I think the cracks are starting to show in the build up to this Fury thing with him.
Well, someone who will put it on you mentally is Tyson Fury, isn't he? You know, if you're playing a game, he'll crack you.
Yeah, true, he will.
Because you're starting to see Usyk get a little bit ticked off with all this Instagram stuff where he's putting out these messages. And yeah, he's doing it as if it's jokey, but you can tell behind it there's something actually.
But Jack, you know, he's not American. Like, you know, these Americans that sometimes they're short circuited. But he's from Ukraine, so that's Ukrainians. They're pretty mentally strong, right?
Yeah, but I think he was acting like that he's this really nice guy. I think he's a fighter deep down. That's what I'm saying. And I think Fury's making the fighter side of him come out, which I actually prefer it when he's like this, because there being a little bit of an edge to him was nice. I like that, because there was a bit of an edge to the Klitschko's when they used to fight. They were nice enough.
Yeah, and look what Tyson Fury did to them couple of in the press conference leading up, wouldn't it?
That was great.
He should come out like Thor. Hey, Jack, he should come out like Thor or something, because, you know, remember when he fought Klitschko, he came out with a Batman suit?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Because he's Ukrainian, he should come out with Thor or something to break Usyk, you know what I mean? Because remember Klitschko's face when he saw...
Yeah. You could argue that he beat Klitschko before even getting in the ring.
Yeah. Oh, man, Fury, he's hilarious.
So,
I like that.
So, Jack, do you think the British boxing public have taken Anthony Yarde to the heart a little bit more tonight after that display?
Yeah, I still see people slagging Tundi off. I actually think Tundi did a good, made a great call at the end, and
It was a little early for me.
Nah, he done him a favour.
I think he was really hurt, and I think Beterbiev can put people out on their back.
Yeah.
I think that was making sure Yarde had another fight in him.
Yeah.
He looked long and hard at his corner before as well.
And someone who was ringside tonight said that Yarde was mouthing at his corner, "What do I do?"
Really?
Like, so he didn't know where he was.
Yeah. I agree with Lee. It's kind of
If
like
that's
what.
true, then Tundi's done exactly what should be done in that.
Yeah, I agree with Lee. It's kind of like what happened to Fury and Wilder in a second fight. That trainer who Fury, that Wilder kicked out, he saved him. He gave him another fight.
Oh, Breland.
Mark Breland, yeah.
Yeah, Mark Breland. Yeah. Because had he not done that, Fury would have seriously hurt Wilder there. He was getting beaten up.
Well, I'll put the performance down to James Cook. If I'm honest, I think he's been a great addition to.
Yeah, I do think he's been a great addition to that team. I think he gave something that Yard didn't have before.
Experience coaching.
Experience and actually more than lions in the camp being said in the corner, but
yeah, fully agree. So I think obviously you got. I think that's about it now until the Wood fight guide from a UK perspective, isn't it? You know, I've not looked.
Serrano next weekend, isn't it? In New York. That's
in the UK.
Yeah.
Let me.
Oh, that's all for all the
From a
belts.
UK perspective, Lee.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think that's the next.
TV wise,
nothing UK wise.
yeah. TV wise, yes, because Ritson's moved back, hasn't it?
No, that's a great fight.
What, Ritson O'Hara Davis?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that fight. That's in my city, isn't it? So
Yeah, I'll be coming up for that one.
yeah, that's a great fight. I like that fight. Although they
Yeah,
accidentally told me about that about 3 weeks before it got announced, and I'm just sitting there. I'm thinking, can you just announce it? Because otherwise, I'm going to put my foot in it at some point.
Yeah. And then boxing chit chat on the side says you got Adam Azim on the 11th as well.
Yeah.
Is he going to be the next Amir Khan, Adam Azim?
He looks very good.
Adam Azim looks
No, he's
very
not. He's not a dickhead. So no.
To be honest, I haven't actually seen him interviewed. I just watch him fight and go, you know what?
So you're not in the Amir Khan fan club then, Lee?
No, I don't send him Christmas cards, put it that way.
Well, Lee, Amir Khan doesn't seem like he would go out of character. He only did it to really Kell Brook, but that was to get into his head. Like, but I don't know. He talked.
No, he tried to do it to Canelo as well, but it didn't really work.
Oh.
I just ain't got. Yeah, he's
But
just
then
not
I
my
feel like
favorite.
everyone tries that with Canelo.
Hey, Jack, have you seen that documentary of Amir Khan? It's on Netflix. It's really good, by the way. On that, once they announced that Canelo Amir Khan fight, they had a scene where they showed his wife. His wife was crying because she knew that Canelo was going to knock him out cold.
I've not seen that, to be honest.
Oh, it's really good, Carl. You got to watch it, man. It's really good. I've seen it. It's really good.
So
No one here has watched the Amir Khan documentary except for me.
speaks
Can I make
volumes.
one comment if people about something that happened on the undercard tonight? That young lad, that Atuma, the one that didn't get beat.
Yeah. What the hell?
I'm a matchmaker, right? But how did he get through the board, that guy? I looked him up. He's traditionally a cruiserweight. And he lasted 15 seconds and literally took one punch on the gloves and one shot and then ended up getting
I thought you were going to talk about the other Atuma for a minute.
Yeah, I didn't see
that. Was a bit of a.
You got poleaxed by an Argentine, didn't you?
He did a shot that put him out, didn't even land.
I probably saw my thoughts on that on Twitter. Why would you pick an Argentine of all people?
Yeah, those guys are tough, man.
Like an Argentine or a Mexican is just the stupidest thing you could do.
You don't quite know what you're getting, do you, Jack?
No, unless you're 100%, unless you're literally an Argentine or Mexican yourself, you're not gonna know what you're getting.
Yeah.
That's why you have to be so careful about doing that.
So let me just ask a question to one at a time. Sean, does Anthony Yarde win a world title before he retires?
Currently, no, I don't think he does. No.
What about you, little Pay? Do you think he lifts the belt before
What
retiring?
was Bivol and Beterbiev are at 175? No, I don't think so. Unless he wins one of those WBA interim belts, he might win one of those.
What about you, Lee?
No.
Yeah.
No, because I believe Callum Smith goes undisputed.
Right.
Callum Smith be
Interesting.
undisputed at 175?
Yeah, I believe Smith will beat. I believe he'll beat Beterbiev.
Bivol's a
and
shout,
probably
though.
Bivol.
He won't
What?
beat Bevel. He'll beat Beterbiev, but he won't beat Bevel.
Even Beterbiev's a
He's
pretty...
probably the best. He's probably the one with the best chance of doing it.
Yeah, Beterbiev or Bivol.
No,
He beats
no, I mean,
Beterbiev for me.
he's got the best chance of beating Bivol. I do think he beats Beterbiev.
I reckon Bivol has the best chance to beat... Beterbiev has the best chance to beat Bivol.
Bivol's special, though.
Bivol is special, but I want to see that fight between him and Smith because I think it would be a good fight.
Tell you
See,
what,
now
though, don't
quite
write
good
Buatsi
sell
out,
I feel.
because Craig Richards has had success against Bevel, and Buatsi's beat. Don't write Buatsi out. I think Bevel wins that, but
I like
it
Buatsi.
could be a good fight.
Yeah.
I forget that.
Problem with Buatsi is he should be further along in his career than he is. He's been the next big thing for years now. It's just never really happened. So it's now or never, really.
I mean,
What is that, Lee? What is that? What happened?
I don't know. He's been so inactive. I don't know. It looks early in his career. He was fighting on so many of Matchroom's undercards, and they were like building him up, and it just went flat.
he was on a lot of.
I don't really know why. Yeah, he was.
Is he even still under Federal Hunter at all, or has he not got a trainer at the moment?
Jack, I think we're getting some interference from your phone, Jack.
Oh yeah.
Question in the sidebar. Good question. Buatsi versus Yard. Who wins? Start with you, Sean.
Buatsi for me, I think.
Ooh. What about you, little fella?
Buatsi for me.
Lee?
Buatsi.
What about you, Jack? Buatsi versus Yard.
Buatsi versus Yard. I'm going to be controversial. I think Yard after tonight.
I think
That's it. You're basing it on tonight, aren't you?
Well, yeah, but I'm
I
basing it on his
think
best
Buatsi's
ever
got a lot to
performance.
prove yet. Like you say, inactivity. You know, I don't understand why he's not getting a promotional push.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Buatsi's got a lot to prove. Yeah, I think Yard. I'd be interested to see where Yard goes next.
I want to see Yard fight Craig Richards. I think that's a good fight.
Richards is a bit of a gatekeeper, though, isn't it, at the minute? Really?
I wouldn't say so. In what way?
I think he gets beat by anyone who not even elite level, world level. I mean, you talk about the Bivol performance. I thought Bivol cruised in that fight. I don't think he ever got out of first gear, and there's still enough to beat Richards.
Oh, you could. There was a lot of cases to say that he beat Buatsi. To be fair,
Yeah, I don't warm towards Buatsi, to be honest with you. Yeah.
it remains to be seen, doesn't it, with Buatsi?
Yeah,
If we're
it's interesting.
comparing Yard tonight to Yard versus Kovalev,
Night and day.
it was different. It was different level tonight.
I just don't know if Yard could go 12 rounds, and I think if he's going to be fighting the likes of Buatsi, I don't think he's going to stop him, and I think he's going to have to condition himself to go 12 rounds, and I think you're going to see rounds get away from him. That's my opinion, but
We all
don't know.
agree. We all agree that Callum Smith's the best in that division, British-wise, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're all in agreement of that.
I think so. I think he has a lot of success against Beterbiev because I think Beterbiev looked open a lot tonight, and I think he'd get exposed.
And would he get round Smith's jab? That's what I'd like to see.
No, because Yard had success with that jab and
He did.
that left hook tonight.
Yard doesn't really. Yard is nowhere near the boxing fluidity that Smith has.
No, he just showed how tough he was
Yeah.
tonight,
Yeah.
didn't he? That
And Yard has a lot of one punch power, but like you're unlikely to get Beterbiev out of there. Like,
Yeah, nah.
I think if it
Yeah.
goes 12 rounds, I think Smith will beat Beterbiev.
Can Beterbiev do 12 rounds though? Because he looked like he was gassing as well.
Yeah, he looked like he was gassing. I don't know if he can, to be
So
honest.
when
He never has.
Beterbiev's knocked out every single fighter he's fought, right?
Yeah.
I'll tell you how highly I rate Callum Smith. I believe Callum Smith can either take him over 12 or stop him late. I think Callum
I would
Smith's good
believe that.
enough to keep.
I think for Callum Smith to beat Beterbiev, he'd have to outbox him. Don't go toe to toe with Beterbiev. He's going to get
I
KO'd.
don't believe he would do, Little Penny. Why would he do that when he can either outbox him? I think he could give him a bit of a I just think it could be a wide point decision, or he could even stop him late, because I think Beterbiev will have to go looking for Smith, and he'll be absolutely shattered by 10 and 11.
If Beterbiev gasses the way he did look like he was doing tonight, Smith would stop him.
Yeah.
Because there was a point where Yard looked like he was going to stop him. And if
he didn't like them. He didn't like that left hook, did he? He couldn't stop that left hook all night.
And he also didn't like the
gets cut
uppercut when he
easy
got
too.
caught with that.
Yeah, I think Yard went a bit up and cut happy at one stage, though, didn't he?
Yeah,
How old is
started
Callum
throwing
Smith,
a million of
Carl?
them.
Carl, how old is Callum Smith?
Let me check. I wouldn't know off the top of my head.
Late 20s,
Early
early
30s, I think,
30s?
isn't he?
early
Yeah.
30s. Yeah.
Okay. Well, he's not spring chicken either.
Who? Smith?
Yeah.
No, he's not young.
33, 34.
32.
32.
Something like
Okay.
that, yeah.
I knew it was
So
early 30s, but-
Boxing Chit Chat says, I think Boxer and Matchroom should work together with the Smiths at Anfield and do Smith versus Beterbiev and Smith versus Eubank.
Well, that's Smith Eubanks.
I mean, that would be
Contract
pretty spectacular.
It'll be too expensive,
Also cost a
surely,
hell of a
that
lot of
card.
money.
I was going to say, it sounds expensive to me.
Yeah, I can't see that happening.
And
By the way, speaking of Anfield, shouldn't they be having like a new stadium like Nottingham Forest? Like
They're doing it up at the moment.
deserve one.
yeah,
They're redoing it.
they're putting a new stand. I was there last week, Little Penny. They're building on top of a stand, so to increase.
I'm there next week. I'm there in a couple of weeks, Carl, for the derby.
Even Manchester City's got a new relatively new stadium. You know what I mean?
That's
Still
been-
23
yeah.
years old, Little Penny.
Been there a while now. That.
Or, no, 21 years.
I mean,
Commonwealth Games, wasn't it?
yeah, that card's expensive and also cross promotional, isn't it? So you've got a lot of working out to do
And
there.
bear in mind, Boxer and Matchroom not on the greatest of terms at the moment, are they? Let's be honest.
After a cola.
No.
And if you know the background to the Billy Joe Saunders stuff, Matchroom would involved with that as well. So, like, we're not massively chuffed about Ben Shalom doing that either.
Yeah, I know. Billy Joe Saunders put that on social media, didn't he?
Who is he training with now, though, Billy Joe?
Billy Joe, I don't know. Somebody did tell me the other day, and I can't remember.
Right. Okay.
He's back in good shape by all accounts, though, isn't he, Jack?
He's in reasonably good shape from what I've heard. Yeah.
I gave Billy Joe Saunders a bit of a great chance against Canelo because I like his boxing ability.
Yeah, same. But
I thought
you know
he was
what? That
doing
was the
okay.
night to me that cemented how good Canelo was or is.
Yeah.
I'd like to see him fight Andrade.
Now that won't happen.
Yeah.
Too high
Billy
risk.
Joe.
That won't happen. And every time Andrade stepped up, he's got beat anyway. I know he's been world champion, but like,
Yeah, Andrade, man, what a sad career Andrade has. Oh God.
I wouldn't have said sad. I would have said confusing. But yeah.
Hey, what do you think about this Thurman Errol Spence fight? Do you like that fight?
It's about 5 years too late.
Yeah, Furman's best days are past him, aren't there? I mean, Errol Spencer's in danger of his career just filtering away because
But Furman never recovered losing to Manny Pacquiao. That was incredible.
He
He's a
should have
tough-
really beaten Manny Pacquiao. He
he's
should
a
have.
tough mother, though,
Yeah.
isn't he, Lee Furman? He's a tough mother.
Yeah, he's bloody good
he is.
boxer. But yeah, I think that was a shock, and he's been so inactive since then. So I don't really know what Furman you'd be getting, if I'm being perfectly honest.
Somebody pointed out that between Keith Thurman fights at one point, Anthony Joshua won a world title and defended it twice. Between Keith Thurman fights.
Mind you,
It's
he was
And at
injured.
the time,
He was
Thurman
injured,
world
though.
champion.
Yeah, he was injured though at one of those points, so he had to recover.
Yeah, I know.
We look at
but
Spence as well. Spencer's the same. He's inactive. A lot
Yeah,
of those
but
American
He
fighters
had a
Right.
car
are.
accident though, like that was pretty bad.
You know why?
American prize fighters don't fight regularly. That's why I got
Yeah,
a
true.
lot of respect for Canelo.
Well, they're on a damn good promotional contract. That's why, Lee, aren't they? They paid a lot of money to fight B-rated fighters. That's the truth. Mate.
Although
The money they're earning is eye-watering.
If you
Yeah.
believe
Mm.
the PBC, if you believe the PBC rumors, they ain't going to be on it for long.
Yeah.
You heard that?
No, go on, Jack. Enlighten, man.
The PBC might be about to go bankrupt.
Really?
Aren't they getting brought out by Paramount Plus or something like that?
No, Paramount don't want them on Showtime, and Showtime they've bought Showtime.
Oh, right. Okay.
So Paramount are basically going to kick them off Showtime once the contract.
I think Jack, you're onto something because of the amount of pay-per-views that they do. They even did a pay-per-view for Luis Ortiz against a nobody.
Yes,
Remember-
they did a pay-per-view for flipping. Who was it? Charles Martin and Luis Ortiz.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh my God.
I mean, I know Charles Martin's not nobody, but come on, like he's Charles Martin. Like the thing he's most famous for is not being very good and coming
And
in on a crowd.
Jack,
like pros.
didn't they act like they were doing the American boxing fans a favour by only charging $30? Did I read?
$40, but yes,
$40.
Yeah.
The price
I
of
mean,
these.
I tell you what. I tell you how they would have done the American boxing fans a favor. Not done that fight. that would have done the American boxing fans a massive
I mean,
favor.
what, Lil Penny, what does it cost you for a pay-per-view fight over in New Zealand? So
About
DAZN
70.
one?
About $70. So which
Yeah,
is the
but they're
same. I
2
think.
for 1. They're 2 for 1, so it's about 35 quid.
About 35 sterling.
Because my ex was from New Zealand, so I knew that it was 2 for 1.
Yeah.
So that's roughly in about where we are. It's creeping
the
up in the UK, isn't it?
I'm not a fan of that, by the way. That it's creeping up. I'm kind of okay with. I would kind of be okay with 30 quid for like Usyk Fury because it's undisputed.
Yes. That's a
And
pay-per-view
bizarrely, I
fight.
probably would have been okay with it for Brooke Khan just because it's taken flipping 10 years to get there.
No, that wasn't a pay-per-view. I think that was too. That should have been like a normal TV because that
was a pay-per-view all day long.
pay-per-view.
All
Yeah,
day
I-
long, that's a pay-per-view.
The undercard
I'd
was
buy it
dreadful,
just-
they want it.
I mean, Khan was shot to pieces. Let's be honest. He
Yeah, he
he
was.
was getting wobbled off a jab.
He looked wobbled while walking into the ring. Remember when he had that long walk to the ring, Amir Khan?
I mean,
He looked like he was walking to the gallows, didn't he?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's true. That's a very good. That's a very good way of saying it. But in their primes, right? Say 2012.
Here we go.
When Cal Brook won against what's his name? Sean Porter, right? Had they fought
Yeah.
then, who would have won?
Brooke.
The same
Brooke.
thing that happened would have happened whenever they
Yeah.
fought.
Well, Cal Brook
the
knocks
only-
out
there was
Amir
only
Khan
one
cold.
time where it wouldn't happen.
Every day of the week and twice on
Amir
a
Khan had
Sunday.
pretty good footwork back in
As
the
soon as
days,
Brooke
man.
got to world
And-
level, that was what was going to happen.
I don't know about a knockout.
Yeah.
I have,
Lil Penny, this is why Amir Khan didn't fight him, because Amir Khan was well aware that would happen. And that's why when he was
As soon
walking
as
to the
Brooke got
ring,
to world level,
he
was
knew
going
he was just about to
knock
get a
out, yeah.
beating.
But didn't Amir Khan say that he was wanting to fight bigger fights, bigger names?
And let's not.
Yeah,
let's
because
not, and let's
went
not
to
it was
forget.
too much risk for little reward at the
And
time.
Yeah,
let's
because
not
Kell
be-
Brook wasn't a big name for him. He wanted to take on the Wales because.
But Lil Penny, let's not forget the Dirty Tricks campaign with the gloves as well.
Yeah. Yeah, to change his gloves in the ring
Oh right.
for the fight.
Yeah.
No.
He tried
I am on the
he
record
tried
of saying-
everything he could.
I am on a record. I even said this to Imran. I do think that Kell Brook's just a little bit too big for Amir Khan, even in his prime. I do think Kell Brook would win that fight, but not by KO or anything. I think it'll go by points because Amir Khan was pretty good back then, man.
Nah, he got chinned loads.
But Lee, if Amir Khan can beat Maidana, who's an even bigger puncher than
That was a good win. I'll give him that one. That was a very, very good.
That was
performance.
the.
I'm not saying he didn't. Yeah, I'm not saying he didn't have good career and like good moments, but I just think Brook would have beaten him like that at any stage in his career. Personally,
here's a strange one, because I kept somebody mentioned brought it up on Twitter the other day, and I genuinely don't know who I think would have won this. At 147, Brook and Broner, because they were sort of at the best that they were at 147.
I think Broner flattered to deceive. I think Broner flattered to deceive, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
He was better at 140, don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying, but at his best, he was good. But I mean, the problem for him was what the problem was for Khan is he's not a 147-pound fighter, and they went chasing Mayweather for flipping ages.
I hope Liam Smith don't fight Kell Brook like he's being targeted in the UK. That is a dreadful fight.
Well, I'm not sure after what come out tonight whether Brook will get a license. Do you see what happens?
No.
There's a video circulating of Kell Brook having a little sniff.
Does Kell Brook need the money? Does he need money or what's going on?
Was he with Ty and Booth or anything?
Say again, Sean.
Was he hanging around with Ty and Booth by all accounts?
I don't know who he was with. Yeah, it's Sun released it tonight.
Right.
Didn't Kell Brook made a lot of money for that Triple G fight and also the Spence fight?
He doesn't need the money, Little Penny. It's not about the money. He has to train, because if he doesn't train, he ends up not in a mentally good place.
Oh, okay.
And he balloons up as well, Jack, doesn't he?
Training, he wants to fight. That's the problem.
Jack, he balloons up in weight as well, doesn't he?
Yeah, that's part of the whole not being a good player. He's a bit like Billy Joe. I think Billy Joe will have to train forever. Bruno has to as well. Bruno still trains now, because if he doesn't, he ends up mentally not in the best way.
Bruno. He should have beaten.
It's a bit sad, isn't it, when you think of it like that?
He should have beaten Tyson in their first fight. He wobbled Tyson.
No, come on.
Remember the first fight?
He wobbled him.
The left hook.
Wobbled Tyson.
Yeah, but that's all he did all fight. you rewriting history on me, young man. There you are.
Right. Loads of people wobbled Tyson. It doesn't mean you're going to beat him. Like, it didn't mean you were going to beat him. Tyson just, past the point once Costamado was gone, just stopped boxing and just started trying to knock people out.
Oh, he left. What's his name? The trainer. What was his name again? His famous trainer. Not Cuss. The other guy.
Martin Rooney.
Not Teddy Atlas. The other guy. His actual trainer.
Rooney.
Remember? He left him, and then it went all downhill from there.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
I like Bruno. I was a fan of Frank Bruno, because if that guy fought everybody, he even fought Lennox Lewis. He was winning that fight too. He was winning that fight
Lewis
too.
was levels above him.
Wasn't winning. Oh, come on.
Lewis was levels above
Go and get
him.
some coffee or something. You need to wake yourself up.
So before the stoppage, right? You in terms of points, I thought Frank Bruno was winning that fight. Like, don't you guys think? No.
Also,
Get your VHS videotape out the loft. Put it on the TV and watch it back again because and
Right.
get a strong cup of
Little
coffee.
Penny. All I'm gonna say is watch what's about to happen with New Zealand boxing for Joe Parker's next fight.
Oh, hey, exclusive.
okay. All right.
I'm not saying who it is. I'm just.
Jack.
Is it a big?
saying
Is it a big one?
who it is.
Jack, is it a big one?
What have I told you about doing this, Jack? You know, if you can't go,
It's
Massive.
big
can't
for
go
British
full in.
people, but you'll never have heard of him.
Okay. Rematch.
Well,
Rematch
I'll
with
tell you on
AJ.
camera
Rematch with
after.
AJ. I'm betting it's
Dempsey
a rematch.
McKean.
Well, if I've just said you've never heard of him, unless you've not heard of AJ.
Oh, okay.
Junior 4.
No, although I kind of want that rematch because I kind of felt that Far beat
Why?
him,
The
so-
first one sent me to sleep.
Yeah, but I thought Far won it, and I thought he got flipping
I
robbed.
did. I thought 4 won that fight, I'll be honest.
Yeah,
Uh,
but then he got sparked by Lucas Brown, so maybe we should have Lucas Brown versus flipping Joseph Parker.
Not in the UK though, because he can't get a
Yeah,
license,
which
can he?
is hilarious when that guy got passed tonight.
I've got to jump
Sorry, I'm
off,
gonna
lads.
get in
I'll
trouble
catch
with
you
the
later
board
on.
for that.
Right, Lee, cheers.
Cheers, lads. See you later.
Cheers.
I'm gonna get in trouble with the board for that comment, but it's not like I'm just gonna assume that it was just one that got through by accident.
Interesting. Anything else you want to bring up, lads, before I bring it to a close? Little Pen, anything you normally have got a few topics to
Jake Paul looked
discuss?
terrified tonight.
Who?
That Jake Paul looked terrified tonight.
I thought he did.
When he actually got in a boxing ring, his eye, you could see in his eye, when he got in a big ring and Tommy Fury was shouting at him, you could see in his eyes
Jack,
that there was something
Jack,
there.
Jack, there has to be a USADA or WASADA or whatever that for this fight on February 26th because, dude, Tommy
It won't
Fury
be
looked
USADA,
like
mate, because it's in Saudi. It's in Saudi
or
Arabia.
whatever. Like
Saudi Arabia, so I don't think US anti-doping care.
he looked like Brock Lesnar in there with like you could tell like man like
Oh,
he
Jake,
looked-
yeah, Jake.
He always
Paul-
looked ripped though. He always looks ripped. Tommy does.
Yeah.
yeah, but that's for modeling purposes, like male modeling. No, I meant like for boxing purposes.
Love Island juice,
I
I
mean, they
think.
both look ridiculous. I don't understand. Yeah. I mean, I want to know what both of their workout regimes are. But other than that,
Go on,
So
Sean.
you're picking Jack. You're picking Tommy Fury obviously to win.
yeah, I am inside 3 rounds.
I'm picking Jake Paul to win.
Sean,
Sean, what was
you
your
gonna say?
pick, Sean? Who did you pick? You picked Jake Paul, right?
Sorry, I shouldn't have brought this up today.
Absolutely. Yeah. Jake Paul stops him, I would even say.
Same.
Just looking
Sean.
at Jake Paul's eyes before tonight, I've seen that in fighters before, and he looks terrified.
He also looks a little bit out of shape.
Yeah, he had a jumper on though. You can't tell.
Well, I'm going for
Carl,
Tommy,
Carl, who are you picking?
Tommy Fury. Come on.
Okay.
Inside
If he
4.
doesn't win, we really, really need to pray for pro boxing, for God's sakes.
Well, I thought it was a great example tonight of two of the top ranked fighters in the division going at each other. And any person that watches YouTube boxing should be watching boxing like that because that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
That was amazing. Oh, and also that flyweight fight earlier on the card was mental as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I still think Sonny Edwards beats both of them, but that's not
Yeah.
the point. Like, that's not the point I was trying to make. But it was still a great fight. I still think Sonny Edwards, if he wanted to, could go and clean up that division.
I do as well.
Hey, Jack. So just one
And
last
I've
question:
said
Who do
that
you think?
to him.
Who do you think will win, Donaire or Maloney in Australia at
Donaire.
118?
Done here.
Donaire still.
I don't
Okay.
actually rate Malone.
It's not I don't rate Maloney. I just think Donaire seems to be the only man in the world who can beat Father Time, and I don't understand how he's doing it.
He didn't look good against Inoue in his last fight.
All right,
Yeah,
but
but
nobody looks good against him.
No.
Let's be
Yeah,
brutally
true.
honest.
Yeah, true. Even Maloney. I think Maloney got KO'd by Inoue himself. Donaire's like 38 now, man.
So he's Beterbiev.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. But Donaire's had more wars though.
Really?
Man, yeah.
Have you seen
Donaire's
Beterbiev
been in a few
amateurs?
wars.
Donaire's like, man, he was fighting Darchinian back in like 2000 and
Yeah, but
Did he not get
Beterbiev was in the
sarcasm
Russian
there?
Olympic squad. Can you imagine them Russian Olympic
yeah, but they got
squad?
headgear, Calder. Like,
But they're still taking some, aren't they? And let's be honest, all 18 of his fights, he's had wars, hasn't he?
that's true. That's true. That's true.
And did
So,
And Beterbiev and Kovalev sparred rounds. Like that sparring must have been
Yeah.
like I
Yeah.
wouldn't want to be in the gym because I feel like you'd be watching that going, ow.
yeah.
Like I got a headache watching tonight. Never mind them.
Yeah, brilliant fight though, brilliant fight. Right, I'm going to bring it to a close then, guys, okay? So 1 a.m. in the morning in the UK, so yeah. Little Penny, thank you for joining, young man, much appreciated. Sean, thank you for joining, great job. Jack, we'll phone you, don't you phone us.
Yeah.
Hey, Carl, will you be doing like this for will you be doing a live stream for after in the aftermath of the Tommy Fury versus Jake Paul super fight in Saudi Arabia?
Of course.
Right for the channel, isn't it?
3 o'clock in the afternoon on a Sunday, though.
Me and Jack will be able to say that we got it right. I'm sure Andy will be glad to join as well.
Hey, Sean, me and Sean will be toasting wine that night. So Jake Paul
on a school night. Oh. Yeah. All right, guys. Jack, cheers for joining, fella.
No, it's
That's Bell Boxing live again on Thursday, 7 p.m. Like, comment, subscribe. Good evening, everybody.